Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 117. Today's date is October 17th, 2021, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Well, one, if you guys caught the bonus episode, I'm happy we have a script again.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing, again, more my own survival. My own survival has kind of been the series that's taken over. I do have to go back and finish my Ripple base this season. It needs a little bit of touch up and tweaking, some more greenery put around in there. And with the fact that 118's coming relatively soon, I think they said a month or two.
Yep.
We're going to be resetting and we're going into season 4 of Ripple Effect.
Yeah, probably the latest, like mid-December.
I think, yeah. But I ended up resetting my nether and creating a nice little nether portal area for my town and stuff. Really liked it. I feel my natural building is getting better and better. So I'm excited to explore that more, especially in Ripple Season 4 with my plans and ideas. I keep going back and tweaking my house. Like, my storage room is brick and granite floors. And now I've gone in and I put some jungle planks in there, and I think it looks really good. I've added some dark oak trapdoors underneath one of the roof lines to add a little bit of depth in a section I thought was extremely flat. And I think that helped out really well. And then the last thing I've done is just hunt for ancient debris like crazy. And I ended up hunting so hard yesterday because you remember during Minecon, I was digging for ancient debris.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm having such a hard time finding it. Like, I'll be down there for 2 hours and I'll walk away with 4 debris. That's it.
Yeah.
And yesterday I went for about 3 hours, went through about 6 picks, and I got 6 ancient debris. It's like,
ooh.
I don't know if my world's just really rough on the ancient debris. I'm digging in the right spots. I'm digging exactly where I was digging in the Withering Effect season, and I could go down in the Withering Effect for an hour or two, and I'd walk away with almost a stack of ancient debris.
Really?
I'm like struggling for it now, and it's like, holy cow! But I dug so much yesterday, and I've got this thing where if I'm in too tall spaces for too long, doing too many movements, it makes me motion sick. And I ended up getting motion sick yesterday, and I had to go like lay down and calm myself down because I just spent so much time looking for ancient debris. I think I've got like 5 hours ancient debris hunting, and I don't have enough to make a full set of netherite gear yet.
Yeah, I noticed you're mining, 2 blocks high, kind of going side by side. If you were to, I'd like to use the TNT. That might
be one of the things I do. I have the gunpowder for it, obviously. Like, my creeper farm's mass producing the crap out of gunpowder.
Right.
I just never liked the cleanup of it because you're just blowing giant chunks and you got to deal with lava falling then.
Yeah.
And everything like that. So I've never really liked that. But the fact that I'm struggling so much for ancient debris, that might be the way I have to go.
Yeah, it might expose the debris that's beneath and above you in that case. That's why I mentioned it.
Right.
It's just more area it covers.
Yeah. I didn't really think anything of it because, like I said, last season, it was easy. It was cake for me. It's like, okay, I just pill around and up. There's like 5 ancient debris. We're good. And this season, it's like, where is it?
Yeah, it is rare. It is pretty rare.
Yeah, that's kind of it for my week. How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, we did the Minecraft Live yesterday. Me, you, and Carl got on a call, just to discuss what we're seeing, what we're excited about. We recorded afterwards, but I wanted to mention a little tidbit of what happened. They finally get to reveal what 119 is going to be, and we're getting excited and everything, and I noticed you guys are like 30 seconds ahead. I'm like, okay, let me refresh this, and every time I refresh, it gets even further away from the actual live recording, and
Yep.
My idea was to exit out real quick and put it back up. When I did that, my whole computer froze. Everything froze up during Minecraft Live, and here we're in Discord on a call. I must have jumped out of the call, I imagine.
You did.
Yeah, the whole thing froze up, so I hurried up and had to get my phone out and watch Minecraft Live on my phone while you guys are in the call together, and had to restart my computer. I think I was out of the call for like 10 minutes or so, maybe not even that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a fumble there on Minecraft Live during it. Good thing we weren't doing it live. We wanted to watch it live for ourselves instead of having chat and everything involved, just because we figured we would miss something.
Right.
Yeah, we mentioned that on the show before.
We did miss something, and I have it in the show notes for us to talk about later.
Oh, nice. Probably something I missed as well. Besides that, I've also had some hit film issues. This is my recording software, or my editing software. It didn't take my recording, so I tried to get back to the older version because I would have to pay for the new version for some reason. I'm not too happy about that, and it's an expensive software, so I had to dig deep and find a hit film pro that I could use and be able to export my videos on, and I'm just going to stick with that and get this episode out with this software, and hopefully it works well. Hopefully I have everything there that, the update didn't take out. So hopefully it ends up well. But I am editing an episode. I sent you like the intro, and I think it went well. But that's just letting you guys know I am starting on my episode, and it should be out next year. No, I'm just kidding. At least a month.
I was gonna say, you're running out of time, man.
I got a lot to do on my base, and I want to finish up the base in this episode. If we're gonna update in a month or two, I probably only have one episode left. But so in that case, I want to make it a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need to talk about, because I still owe the debt of the silent episode.
Right.
That was supposed to be in the season. I kept putting it off because I wanted it to be a collection of. Do you remember that TV show Robot Chicken?
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a bunch of small segments like that was going to actually require recording with multiple people, which meant I needed to script a lot of it out. And we said it had to be like 10 minutes or something like that to count as an episode.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't just going to do I can just do a replay mod.
YouTube short.
Yeah, footage of my episode and call it done. To me, that felt like cheating. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to put it on this season of Ripple Effect with how short it is and how much fun I'm having on my own survival. So we might have to work out a new deal to maybe either make it in one of the early episodes of season 4 or make a better trade.
Yeah, if you're pushing it back, we're going to add something onto that.
Okay, what are we going to add on to it?
I don't know.
I was going to say we can straight up trade it. Because I think there's a Jimbo who needs me to record some stuff for him.
Yeah, I do need you in a couple clips.
We will talk about it afterwards. But yeah, we're getting close to new seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I stayed up late last night working on Ripple Season 4 skin. That sounded really wrong.
Yeah, you can't put those together.
You can't. Ripple Season 4 Minecraft skin.
There you go. That's hilarious.
Carl's going to edit that and do uncontext duds. I can feel it.
Carl, leave it. Leave it go.
No, he's going to edit it out and just post it everywhere as an ad.
Oh, okay. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I knocked my skin out last night. I'm really happy with it. I think I'm getting better at making skins.
It does look good. I saw it in the chat.
Mm-hmm. All right, but that's it for our weeks. Should we get into the news?
Yeah, big news.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about 119.
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
Yeah, until the main topic. So this will talk about 118, which is not getting the Deep Dark. It's getting pushed back to 119.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk more about that in the main topic. But 118, obviously looking close to being done. We saw the blending mechanic and what's going to happen under Bedrock to existing chunks. And it's basically exactly what I thought was going to happen. The bedrock's getting removed and deep slates being added to it. Which could be nerve-wracking in my single-player world, since I have 2 farms that touch bedrock and actually have redstone intertwined with bedrock.
Ooh.
Not a lot.
Yeah, I'm curious how that goes.
Yeah, my slime farm's gonna break whenever 118 comes and I update.
Mm-hmm. Is it an easy fix?
Yeah, because it's deep slate, the problem was I had to weave the redstone through the bedrock, which was actually an extreme challenge. But with deep slate...
Oh, this should make it easier.
Yeah, deep slate, I'm just going to mine it out and put whatever redstone I want in there. So that's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's just, I've got to dig back down to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the blending, the, what do you want to call it? Deep slate area being added, it looks good. It looks exactly what we expect to come out of Mojang. Quality work.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Yeah, we're not going to get the deep dark, but we are getting our lush caves. We're getting our dripstone caves.
Yep.
We're getting everything else that they promised us. We're getting our Y levels.
Yeah, the mine shafts in the lush caves. Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
Yes, it's a whole nother world down there, like I mentioned before.
It really is. Still a little worried about lighting things up, but with the new lighting mechanics stopping mobs, it shouldn't be that bad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be 0 now.
I think that's the thing I'm the most excited for.
I think I'm excited for just the depths. I mean, we're not going to find the deep dark down there, but it's so big. It's so open, a lot of these caves. It's going to be a lot of fun exploring them.
Yeah.
We're not going to get our bundles yet.
No.
I know you're really upset about that.
Well, that was one of my predictions, is that we weren't going to get bundles, but we were going to get backpacks.
Right.
As improved bundles, because I was really dead set. Like, they have to be doing an inventory update for this update. You can't do a massive, like, game-changing update, world-gen changing update this close to a previous world-gen update. And I was kind of correct. This isn't going to be the biggest update. I'm taking a good bit of the Deep Dark out, because the Deep Dark is a huge, massive area that's being updated. But it's also been in progress or will be in progress for 2 years instead of the normal, like, half-year cycle.
Yeah, and it's a lot bigger than we thought.
Yes.
Again, we'll get into that later, but it makes you wonder, were we going to get all that?
No.
In 117, or were they going to gradually...
King Big Dogs mentioned that the Deep Dark was originally just caves with little treasure rooms in it.
Ah, I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
So he wanted to step it up and did a very good job.
Yes, they sure did step it up. We also not getting the archaeology update.
Yeah, not even mentioned.
Yeah, and I heard them say a while ago, I think it was on Twitter, Ulroff tweeted, that it's been delayed.
Right.
Not so much it's coming next update or the update after, just delayed. So not too sure when we're going to see that. So just letting you guys know, it's not coming just as of yet. Sorry.
We knew it wasn't coming 117, so we thought it was coming 118 because they said the next update. Now it's not even coming 119 from what we can tell.
Mm-hmm. Which is okay. I wasn't like too hyped about the archaeology thing. It was pretty neat, but
no, archaeology wasn't something I was super excited. I mean, the pots were cool, but you're right. I'm not going to go hunting for archaeology sites in the game.
Yeah, not all the time. Maybe once, just to
get a pot,
feel it out.
And the next thing, we had dungeons. Dungeons is getting seasonal adventures, which aren't really seasonal because they last forever.
Yeah.
But Dungeons got a good update.
Right.
Oh.
They added this tower for, I think it's a single player thing.
Yeah, you have different levels, and the more you progress up the tower, the harder the challenges are getting. And I'm extremely happy with that because it adds a ton of replayability to the game.
Yeah, I think you progress down the tower. I'm not too sure.
Okay, maybe I was wrong.
It seemed like when they did a little clip, the easy part was at the top. I could be wrong, though.
Either way, it's a good update.
They gave the character capes, emotes, and then like a special effect type of deal.
They've got some VFX going on, which is cool. I love customization, and if anything, Dungeons has some of the best customizations out of the Minecraft games.
Yeah.
Really cool armor sets, weapons, and stuff.
Yeah. We've always asked for, a way to edit the player, but they give us so much customizing armor and pieces to put on your player that it's pretty much a custom player. Not every player looks the same in that sense.
Oh, and they added like a ton new characters too.
Yeah, new skins.
So it's even more customization in that game. So GG to all those dungeons workers out there. We had Laura on the show. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah.
She was just great. So I love the dungeons team.
It was so cool seeing, Laura out there. King B Dogs was on Minecraft Live. Corey was on there.
Mm-hmm.
These are all guests we've had on the show that has been such a huge part of the new update and coming in to explain everything.
Yep.
Of the little features, and it's real humbling seeing them, on the big stage and being a part of this show.
Right, and then they chose our little podcast to be on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool.
But should we go ahead and move on? Because, like you said, we're saving all the 119 stuff for later.
Yeah, and there's a lot to cover.
Yeah. So, hopping to listener comments, I asked people for reactions from Minecon, what they like, what they didn't like. And one of the things stood out that is going to allow me to get on a soapbox one last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think after this one, I'm not going to bring it up again.
Soapbox.
No concrete stairs and slabs again, at least for now.
Right.
That was mentioned like, hey, we didn't get these things again. And I wanted to bring up at first, you remember the reason they said we weren't getting concrete stairs and slabs was the inventory was too full. They couldn't add new blocks to the game. You remember that?
Yeah, that was one of the things.
It was a big thing for a while, and then they fixed it. And now we're getting a ton of new blocks. Like every update's a ton of new blocks. We got new tree blocks coming this. We had deep slate, which was just a massive amount of blocks. Best block in the game.
Yeah, moss block.
Moss block.
Gave us a bunch of different stuff.
Ton new blocks. So obviously the we can't add new blocks to the game argument's null and void.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things mentioned from a dev was that, well, it would hurt creativity. It would make the game too easy. You need to think of ways around, and I'm just going, BS. I'm one of those people that when like I build the roof of a house, I need stairs and slabs because I don't like lighting the roof of a house because that's not natural. And I don't like things spawning on roofs of house because then you just get the ninja creeper who jumps off the roof and blows up.
Yeah. And if you want to have a more textured roof, use a different block.
Right.
It's not that you have to use the concrete stairs and slabs. You're not going to use them everywhere.
But because of needing stairs and slabs for roofs, 90% of my roofs are wood.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads to a lot of same. Yeah, we have copper now that a lot of people are using copper on roofs. I'm not a fan of copper roofs and oxidation and stuff. I think warped wood and dark prismarine looks like a better oxidized roof than copper does. Orange copper is a very cool looking block, and I will use that somewhere, but not for a roof.
Yeah, it's like that rusty kind of copper look.
But yeah, no concrete stairs and slabs. I'm just, to the point I'm just like, why? This has to be one of the most asked for features in the game. And the fact that we don't have them yet it's kind of like a...
Mm-hmm.
I know you like to kind of fit things in with certain updates or whatever, but at this point, it's just like, just give it to us.
Yeah, they're probably getting annoyed, people asking about it. Matter of fact,
Right.
I know they are. But, like, I could see them saying, okay, let's give them the concrete stairs and slabs. We're all going to be happy. Everyone's going to be happy. We're going to be using them in many different ways. But then it'll fade away, So it's not like it's going to be taken advantage of,
Right.
We're going to use it in so many situations, and then it's going to be like, okay, we got our concrete stairs and slabs. There's nothing really else to complain about there.
And I'm not going to be that guy who wants stairs and slabs for every variant of every block in the game. Because, sorry, sand stairs just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Even dirt.
Concrete powder stairs, or dirt stairs, slabs, or whatever, doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Dirt slab, maybe. But stairs?
Dirt slab, maybe. I will agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But concrete in itself, my house is sitting on a concrete slab. It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's my one soapbox. It was mentioned in our Discord. That's why I brought it up. I won't be asking for concrete stairs and slabs anymore. I think Mojang knows we want them, and we want them badly, but they're just still not adding it in the game for hopefully what they feel is a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Then off my soapbox. But yeah, that comment came from our Discord, and it's the only place where you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take me, Jason's word for it.
Hey friends, it's me, Jason, and I'm a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to talk to your fellow listeners and give your input into the show. You might even get your question or comment read out on a future episode. Join the Discord today. Link is in the show notes, and I'll see you there. Duds 100% this message.
Thank you again, me, Jason, for that Discord ad.
Each week on the show, we mention the top 3 members who have been earning XP and leveling up during what in the world? I was going to say during. I think I skipped ahead on words.
You skipped a line.
Yeah, I skipped a lot there. Each week on the show, we mention the top 3 members who've been earning XP and leveling up by participating in chat, excluding ourselves and our moderators. This week's top 3 Discord members are 3rd, viperoustuna, 2nd, Kitty Cat 2, and 1st, again, Ski 3012.
It's got to be like a record, right?
I know. Feel like they're in there every week. Join in with chat on Discord and you could be mentioned next week.
All right. So, in our Discord, like usual, we have Mending Minecraft, but this week we changed it up, and instead of mending anything from Minecraft, we did the mob vote. We wanted to see what our Discord would pick for the mob vote. The choices were the Glare, the LA, or the Copper Golem.
And the winner of the Minecraft vote on our Discord is LA.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Same thing happened last year. We picked the Glow Squid won. We picked the LA won.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the LA did won. It's a pretty close vote. Again, when they did the vote on Minecraft Live, they excluded the one mob that got the least amount of votes, and then it was down to the LA and the Copper Golem, which is the same on our Discord. The Glare only got 12 votes. The LA had 44, and the Copper Golem with 37. So it was down to those two, which we figured, and the LA ended up winning. So not a few things on the LA. I actually had to go on Minecraft.net and just get the description of the LA before we talk about it.
Right.
It mentions the LA is a mob with many hobbies. If you give them an item, it will gather more of the same or similar item that they can find and give back to you. This could be collectible, something you've crafted, or a block you've mined. Isn't that nifty? It is also huge music buff and loves to dance. That's just delightful. But also practical, because if you have a note block nearby, that's where it will drop off your collectibles. And as you can see, it's just adorable and has little tiny wings that I am totally not jealous of. Not at all. And that's the description of the LA.
Right. So, a couple things with the LA. We know it's going to go collect items. A lot of people got confused on this and thought it was duplicating items.
Yeah.
It's not a dupe machine.
No. I wouldn't vote for it in that case.
Yeah, another thing people are confused about is it does not mine blocks for you.
Mm-mm.
So if a block's placed in the ground, it's not going to go pull it out of the ground for you. It's not an Enderman ripping your grass block up out of the dirt.
Right.
What it's looking for is entities. You know, when you throw something on the ground and it does that little bounce, float, hover thing, that's what it's looking for.
Right. They mentioned it could be used more in like storage systems.
Right.
But I could see so many different ways for this to be of use.
The big thing is, where does it drop the item? It says near a note block. Is it the block adjacent to the note block? Is it on top of the note block? Could it be 3 blocks away from the note block? These are all really important things when you start to get technical. So using this in a storage room, it's a big thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, does it know, like if you have multiple note blocks, which one will it pick? Will it randomly pick one? Can you assign one? Apparently, I feel like there was a tweet or something mentioned that it will pick a certain note block. You can assign items to note blocks or something like that.
Yeah, and we're not exactly sure how that's going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to assume that every allay will go to a specific note on a note block. So like this allay is assigned this note. So whenever that note goes off, maybe it knows to go to that block.
I bet you're right.
Which will create noisy storage systems if people are going to use it for storage.
Yeah. A way I would use it is like mining in like a desert. Like there's sand everywhere.
Yep.
And then you dig out all the sand. You got to go back through and collect all the sand. If you miss some, you're losing out on those. If you were to throw this little guy, a sand block, it could gather them for you, and you don't have to worry about that. That could be a pretty nifty way of using the allay. Didn't mean to rhyme.
I think I also saw that to give it the block, like you physically have to, like I think, click on it, and you'll lose that item you give it.
Really?
That first item you're giving it,
okay,
kind of like doesn't count. So it now holds on to that item, going, okay, this is what I look for, and then everything else is picked up, which is still cheaper than the most average storage system, which requires 41 items in a sorter.
Right.
So
yeah, and when collecting sand, odds are you're going to miss a block or two.
Right.
And this shouldn't miss any, at least.
Yeah.
And one thing we don't know about the allay is where it comes from. How do you get it? They did mention it could be a pet.
Right.
So, yeah, not too clear on where it comes from.
And it looks like a mini Vex.
Yeah, similar to a Vex. Wouldn't call it a reskin, though. It's
right.
Definitely some differences.
And now, a lot of people were voting for Copper Golem just because it's a little robot that roams around your base. And people were saying, well, that'll make bases more lively and statues. And I'm going with, well, we have armor stands, which can already kind of do the statue thing. And two, the allay is going to travel all over the place, too.
Yeah.
So you're still going to get liveliness in your base. This was the first mob vote that I think we've seen where no matter what mob won, I was going to be okay with it. I had no gripe about it. Even the glare. The glare is something I probably wouldn't use, but I'd find a way to work it in the base somehow.
Yeah, and they're all unique. We didn't get any reskins, which I was very happy about.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to be a dungeons mob. One, because they were so unique in dungeons that I was like, go this way. Don't do Minecraft or a Earth mob, because those are just reskinned mobs. At least with dungeon mobs, they're a bit different, and then they went completely different and just created new mobs.
Yeah, the Copper Golem, I guess. I mean, you can't even call that a reskin of the Golem because it was completely different, at least on the animation.
Right. And it was extremely adorable.
Yeah.
For me, one of the reasons I didn't pick the Copper Golem is I'm coppered out.
Yeah.
Copper seems to be the new it block. Everything's being made out of copper. I'm just coppered out.
I like it having another use, and as far as we know, the Copper Golem is crafted. It's not so much found or
right
in the wild. It was supposedly one of its functions was to press random copper buttons, which is something they were going to give us.
Right, which means they would have to add copper buttons to the game.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Having new buttons is the same. But I'm on the Carl train here. Where's the quartz button? I'd rather have that big white button than the orange button.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, does a copper button oxidize and then you can't press it anymore?
Do any of the other crafted copper?
No, like the lightning rod doesn't oxidize.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably wouldn't, I imagine.
I would assume the button wouldn't, but that would be a feature, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they did mention that the Copper Golem itself oxidizes.
Right.
And I was kind of like, I don't like that part about it, but they did mention that you can, just like a copper block, unoxidize it by right-clicking with your axe.
Yeah. But it didn't say you could wax it to keep it from oxidizing either.
That was a question I was...
Which means you might have to constantly walk around behind this thing and clean it up.
I think it'd be funny that you're like, he's frozen again. I gotta go.
Stupid robot.
Unfreeze him.
Yeah, the LA one, and I'm happy that's the one I voted for, but any of the three winning would have been okay with me. And I'm super excited Mojang went this way.
I did vote for the LA.
Yeah. I feel it's got a lot of technical benefits we don't know about, and I feel that it has a lot of decorative benefits we'll soon find out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't get everything on it. Like I said, we don't know where they come from.
Right.
It's one thing.
Well, we didn't know anything about the glow squid when we got the glow squid.
Yeah.
Other than it was just a reskinned squid.
Yeah, we don't know if the allay will drop anything. Yeah, if there's a drop involved.
But with how well the glow squid turned out, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're good. We're going to have some fun with this new mob.
Yeah, I agree.
So should we get in the meat potatoes of this episode?
Yeah, let's dive on in.
All right. Minecon happened. We got the 119 look, and it's the wild update.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start with, we did our first impressions yesterday, and we chose one word to describe our impressions, and I chose disappointing. And I wanted to clear up. It wasn't that I didn't like what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like inventory was a more important update, or combat would have been a good update to put in there. Everything I saw, I liked. It's just, I felt there was a need in a different spot. So people who listened to that and went, oh, well, Duds hates the update. No, I don't hate this update. It's just, I was leaning towards what I felt was a more useful update, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and I mentioned it was predictable, mainly because...
Yeah, because you predicted it.
Yeah. Last week on the show, I mentioned that I was kind of leaning towards a biome update. You know, they took out a bunch of mini biomes, and I was thinking this might be because they're adding new things to biomes. And we saw a revamp of the swamp, a little bit of the birch forest, some concept art, but nothing more. But I've heard that they're going to add more to other biomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to put on how much we predicted in this update between you and I, we'll start with, you chose biomes as your update.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's a lot of tweaking and stuff to be doing on such a short update. You were right.
Mm-hmm.
They picked biomes as their main thing. Granted, the deep dark's in there. We're leaving the deep dark out of this because the deep dark is going to have a lot of time to be worked on. And it does look like a lot of it's already complete, I think.
Mm-hmm. Added a lot.
But yeah, we have biomes. And in those biomes, we have the swamp biome, which was a Mending Minecraft vote a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago. And I chose mangrove trees to be in that update, which we're getting, and fireflies, which we're getting.
Yeah. It's a good call.
We are nailing it.
Mm-hmm.
Between both you and I on these predictions. I mean, my prediction episode was a complete wash. I got nothing right out of that one. And I'm kind of happy I didn't get anything right on that one, because it left things as a surprise for me. For you, you're just like 30 seconds behind, but you're a week ahead in knowing what's coming.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was behind watching everything, but was able to pinpoint on what to expect.
Yeah. But let's start with the deep dark, because it's the most complete thing we saw for now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the scariest I've seen in Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, we're not... like I mentioned on the reaction show, I don't know what's scarier, the deep dark or the nether. Actually, I do, and it's the deep dark.
It's the deep dark.
Yeah.
The nether is just a fear of randomly dying from something stupid. The deep dark's a jump scare away.
Right. Many jump scares going to happen
Oof.
in the deep dark. And the way they expanded on it, they added these deep dark cities.
Right.
Wow. Didn't see that coming.
The way I'm thinking about these cities is I think they just took the strongholds and amped it to 11. I think these cities are replacing strongholds.
Yeah. Yeah, the strongholds aren't anything now. I mean, compared to this, there's so much detail into it.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing we don't know is, are all these deep dark cities going to look the same, or are they going to be random? We're not too sure about that.
Oh, yeah. Are they going to use the Bastion puzzle piece mechanism?
Right.
Don't know. I would have to assume they would be random.
Yeah, like for different deep darks to develop. We don't know how rare they are. I imagine they're rare.
Mm-hmm. What we know about the deep dark or ancient cities are there's like a whole family of skulk blocks now.
Yeah.
I forgot. You have the screeching one. I forget what it was called, but depending on the noise you make and how many times it screeches, it'll, one, darken everything, just dim the lights.
Yeah, like a pulsing darkness.
Yep. And then two, it'll summon the warden.
Yeah.
Which crawls up and out of the ground if it's not freaky enough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, heebie-jeebies.
It's really creepy and also very cool.
Mm-hmm. So we knew the warden could attack you based on sound, but it turns out like the warden can also smell now.
Yeah.
From what we heard on there. Does that mean if I'm like carrying some steak, could I throw some steak somewhere else and it would find that?
I don't know. I think it just sniffs out the character. They mentioned if it gets too close to you, it can kind of pinpoint where you're at. Like it kind of goes off what we thought sound, but all we know is it can't see. So I guess it could use another sense of smell to find the character.
Yeah. I think on Twitter, I saw King B-Dogs mention that, what was it? It had 500 health points.
Oh my God. I did not know that.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those mobs that you're not going to kill. I mean, I'm sure you can kill it. It has health points. You can kill it. But you're not intended to kill it.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. It didn't mention a drop or anything.
No.
Yeah, I'm guessing you would have to kill this thing from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like we mentioned before, it is taller than the player. Maybe you can get underneath the blocks. We don't know its reach. Maybe it can reach you under there or remove blocks.
Mm-hmm.
There's just still questions that we still have.
One of the things I thought also was, could this finally make a purpose out of firework rockets in a crossbow?
Yeah.
Because of all the sound that happens with those things.
Mm-hmm.
Might be kind of useful in fighting in the warden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know you can use snowballs to distract it.
Distract, yeah.
And that leads me to the loot. King B-Dogs on the live show mentioned that we're going to find unique loot in these chests. Now, he didn't say what it was.
Right.
Even in the video, it seemed like there was some enchanted books. Like I said, some snowballs, just little things like that we can get elsewhere. So nothing unique shown in this chest yet.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the loot we saw was placeholder loot for now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping unique loot is what I've been asking for basically years now. And we're going to get that one sword that's sharpness like 9.
Mm-hmm.
That can start one hit killing. You can't enchant it. You can't craft it. You can't do it. You can only find it. It would give more fear in dying now. Because you can't just go to a villager trading hall and re-gear up like you were.
Mm-hmm. And if these deep, dark cities are more rare than we think, like end portal rare, like stronghold rare, there's only going to be a couple of these items out there. So they're going to be super rare for you to lose one of these. It's going to be devastating.
Yeah. And again, we have no clue what it is. We're just speculating / hoping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've brought this up quite a few times, and that I've always agreed with that idea. That would be super cool to have an item at that caliber.
Yeah. What else from the Deep Dark?
Well, we didn't mention the Skulk Catalyst.
Yeah.
The way they work is they can actually produce Skulk sensors when killing a mob near it. And it also showed when you mine Skulk blocks or the Skulk vine things or whatever it was, you gain XP from these.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And as these Skulk Catalysts produce Skulk and Skulk sensors, you can actually gain XP. So maybe hooking this up to a mob grinder or something like that could be another way to gain XP other than getting it from the mob itself.
Well, you would also need a stone generator, or at least we think a stone generator, because it does what moss does and replaces the block.
Right.
We only see it on deep slate, so we don't know if it replaces stone, cobblestone, anything like that just yet. It may only work on deep slate, which would make it really hard, and I don't see the devs doing that. And I think it's going to be working on stone and deep slate alone. It probably won't work on cobbled, deep slate, or polished, tiled, all that stuff.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
But you have what looks like a variation of Lichen. That's the Skulk version, which is a cool look. It looks like, to me, little eyeballs.
Yeah.
So that was a cool texture.
It kind of resembles the M portal.
Yeah.
Where you put the Eye of Ender, similar to that color.
Which again leads me to, I think ancient cities are the new strongholds.
Yeah, could be.
We know in the middle of these ancient cities, deep dark areas, is where the really important stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's in the middle. They didn't give us a glimpse of it at all. But they did show a middle building in there. And I saw new blocks.
Yeah.
I think.
Mention that.
I put a picture of one of the new blocks in the Discord. It looks like, you know that glazed terracotta that's got the arrow? I don't know if it's magenta or not.
I think it is magenta.
This block kind of looks like a black and gray version of that. And I tried to brighten it up and make it look a little bit clearer, but I just couldn't get it right.
Yeah, it's almost like a frame. It's almost like in a frame type of deal.
Yeah.
Shape.
So if anyone wants to take a shot of it, it's linked in the Discord. You can try to lighten it up. There was also a different polished deep stone block I saw, but it was like a single block. So I don't know if it was like a lighting error that made it look different from all the other ones or not. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really take a screenshot of that one. I just kind of let that one appear when it appears.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. One question I do have is that, we saw the warden summoned in that center room that the player was at, but we don't know if it can be summoned elsewhere. Maybe it's just in this room where all the great loot is.
I have an answer for that.
What is that?
And I don't know if this was an accident or not, or what was happening, but in the video where they're showing off the city area, the camera was just kind of scrolling through, and there was a random warden in the corner.
Ah.
That wasn't summoned. So they can, I assume, naturally spawn there too.
That's cool. I didn't notice that. It's the first time I'm hearing about that.
So, head on a swivel.
Yeah. So the Deep Dark is so much more than what it was supposed to be that they had to add it into the next update.
Yeah. I was disappointed it was getting pushed back. But then what I saw, what the Deep Dark was going to be, compared to what we saw in the Caves and Cliffs updates, it's like, yeah, okay, I get why you're doing that now. It's all right. Yeah, it stinks. We got to wait a little bit longer, but the wait is going to be a good wait, if that makes sense.
Right. And as just like every other update, when they reveal it, there's always some things they leave out.
Mm-hmm.
There's always some things they like to add in later. One of my predictions was, we're going to have another mob down in the Deep Dark that isn't brought up, and they didn't say anything about that during the live event. But hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, we might get another mob down there.
Moving on from the Deep Dark, we did get another mob in the swamp.
Yeah.
Frogs. We kind of knew frogs were going to be coming into this game at some point. I think they were, again, one of the more requested mobs. I think grizzly bears were one of the ones I saw a ton of too. But yeah, frogs, man. I'm excited for some frogs.
And they're not just dedicated to the swamp. We saw that, there are some cold. You can get them in the cold areas. There's some in the desert. I think there's 3 different kinds, depending on the atmosphere or the weather temperature.
Yeah, I don't think they naturally spawn anywhere but the swamp. But taking the tadpoles, because the baby variant of the frogs will be tadpoles, which I know you do get in the swamp. If you scoop those guys up with a bucket, and then when they finally turn into a frog, either in your inventory or placed down in the world, depending on your location, like Jimbo says, the climate, if it's a cold climate or a warm climate, it'll change the color of the frog.
Mm-hmm. In the colder temperatures, it seems to be a darker color.
Mm-hmm.
And in the warmer biomes, it seems to be a lighter color.
Yep.
And they explain that, I guess frogs do adapt their skin color from the temperatures.
Mm-hmm. I really am excited for frogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's another mob that'll bring life to the game.
Yeah.
My only worries were like when I saw the tadpoles, I went, please let's not have another COD incident where we had like CODs running into each other in 1.13 and it would crash our server because it was just, the algorithm was too much and it died. So.
Yeah. Then you got to track, like each one of these tadpoles are in a growing cycle. So they, that's another thing that the AI has to track.
Yeah. Well, and to breed the frogs, use fireflies, which are new.
We'll feed them.
Well,
we don't know if you breed them or...
Let's start with the fact that I don't think fireflies are entities.
Right.
They're just basically 2 pixels, one that changes color to look like a lighting effect, and they're in a cluster that flies around. Now, we didn't see a way to catch the fireflies. We didn't see a way to feed the fireflies to the frogs. We just know the fireflies will be eaten by the frogs, and that's how you breed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could see the animation of the frog's tongue.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jimbo's hoping the frogs will eat the bees.
Yeah, like they do it in real life. It happens, like you mentioned, the bees are bigger than the frogs, which is
right.
It's a little strange, but
I agree that in real life, frogs eat bees. Mm-hmm. So it's a thing in the game, but in the game, the bee is larger than the frog. So I don't know if it makes much sense for that to happen.
Yeah, well, you got time. You got time for the update to come out. Just keep my fingers crossed. This is something I've been asking for a while. I know you wanted the mangrove trees, but I really wanted these frogs when they come to eat these bees.
When it going back to fireflies, I really hope we can catch fireflies in a jar and use it as a lighting source.
Yeah, that was actually one of your mini Minecraft for the fireflies on the swamp biome.
Yeah, I don't care if it only puts out like a light level 3 or 4, that tiny little light level. It would be so great to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that light level 3 or 4 matters now.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get on to the mangrove trees. The mangrove trees, I'm excited for it and not excited for it at the same time. I think the texture needs a bit of work. I'm excited to see that they're getting basically their own little biome within a swamp. I think it's going to be like how bamboo grows in jungles, how it's got its own little biome inside of a jungle biome.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're just taking over the swamp. I don't think the swamp biome's changing. I think we're just getting another sub biome of swamp.
Yeah.
And these mangrove trees are going to be, the sapling you can put in water and it can grow out of the water, or you put it on the ground and it can grow out of the dirt or grass or whatever we have there, mud, which we'll talk about it in a minute. And they're cool shaped trees, like super cool looking trees. It's kind of like how acacia trees to me are some of the coolest looking trees, even though they're not the best textured.
Yeah.
Mangrove trees, same way.
They come with vines.
Yeah. We get a root block with these trees, which I think needs a lot of texture work. I did not like the texture of the root block at all.
Yeah, it seems like a leaf block.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that transparent look, but I agree. I'm not a big fan of the way it looks. I felt like they could have done better, like more of like a, I don't know, connecting fence type of root would look better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a texture guy or a dev kind of guy, so I don't know how hard it would be to change that. But I know what we have now does not look very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to the tree texture, the log form kind of looks like a darker jungle log.
Mm-hmm.
And then the plank form looks like a lighter acacia log and a darker jungle log, which is a color I don't think is going to get used a ton.
I don't know.
I'm a fan of jungle planks. I love jungle color, but this one, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping for a different color. But then again, this might be really close to what they are naturally.
Right. Yeah, whenever you want a new wood type, you're hoping for something more unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. It's a little too similar to the jungle wood.
Yeah, but I'm excited that we got a new tree.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to see what the final texture is. Remember, nothing's set in stone anyways, so we'll see if it gets any work.
We might even get more trees. As of right now, this makes our wood types an odd number.
Mm-hmm.
Setting up a storage for wood types in odd numbers because they gave us 2 wood types in the nether and still kept it even. So I'm kind of predicting, let me look into my crystal ball real quick. Yeah, another wood type will be coming.
Well, it's funny you say that because my new storage room on my own survival, the wine cellar, was specifically designed for the amount of tree types we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I based everything off that. Now we have another tree type and it won't fit in that area.
Yep.
Oh.
But besides the new wood blocks, we've got the mud block coming.
Yeah, which is a purplish block.
Mm-hmm. Which, I wasn't too sure. I'm not too familiar with purple mud.
There is some purplish mud. That's not as a Florida guy for many years. Yeah, that happens.
Okay. Yeah, you could definitely get like a clay type of deal, which kinda, results from the mud in the game.
Well, and that's another thing we got to talk about. But first, to make the mud, you get a dirt block and you add water to it. Now, I got this wrong in the first impressions. I thought you had to throw a splash potion of water on it.
Yeah.
To get it to turn into mud.
Maybe you can.
Well, from the video, all they're doing is clicking with a water bottle on it to turn it into mud. Essentially what you would do with a water bucket to waterlog a block.
Yeah.
So it's seeming like it doesn't take as much water as you would think to make mud. That's a lot easier. Yeah, getting water bottles is going to be a bit of a pain, but the fact that it doesn't take as much water to make mud will be nice. The fact that you still have to kind of do it manually, not a super fan of.
Yeah, as of right now, it is manually. Maybe you can use a dispenser.
Maybe if a dispenser works, I'll be good with that.
Mm-hmm. This block seems to be abundant in the swamp area, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The mud.
That seems to be the only block in the mangrove swamp.
Yeah, you don't see too much dirt or grass.
Nope. But the mud block can turn into two different blocks. We have the mud brick, which I thought was just a quartz brick texture with a different color. It's not. It is its own different texture. So we have that.
Mm-hmm. And we don't know if we're getting the stair and slab variant either. They just showed the block itself as of right now.
If we get a mud stair and slab before, no, I said I was off that. I was off that soapbox. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, and there's no other versions of those. But to me, the big thing is we can get clay from the mud block.
Yep, dirt turns into mud, turns into clay.
Yeah, which everyone's like, hey, renewable clay. Well, not really, because now you have to go dig a ton of dirt out of the ground.
Yeah, it does take dirt.
The fact that you have to either dig up mud from the mangrove swamp or dig up dirt, turn it to mud, then place it on dripstone with a pointy dripstone below it, so it sucks the water out of the dirt to turn it into clay, which then gives you a clay block.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of manual stuff still going on this, because now you have to place all the mud on pointed dripstone. You have to get enough. Well, now that we have dripstone caves, that's not going to be a problem anymore, getting the amount of dripstone you need, I guess.
Yeah. The only way they show us, is that, the mud can turn into clay from the, leaking it through the dripstone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming back to like sponges, to where you could take them in the nether and place them, and they can dry them out.
Yes.
Hopefully you could do this with those, or even a furnace. Put them in a furnace and make them more automated.
That would be so much better. Even if you couldn't furnace them.
Yeah.
If you could take them in the nether, because the nether sucks all the moisture out of everything, right?
Right. Makes sense.
It makes so much sense to be able to run into the nether, place a bunch of them down, and mine them up that way.
Mm-hmm.
Good thinking.
Yeah, hopefully that's a thing.
But I think we covered everything. Was that it?
I think so. I have a feeling we're missing something, but I think so. Chests and boats.
Chests and boats.
Yep.
We saw that a couple years ago on the biome vote.
Yep. They mentioned be coming with the swamp update,
which
would help out inventory a little bit. But it's not a solution. I know you still don't think it'll help too much, but I could see it being as of use on the road.
It's going to be of use for the first 2 weeks of a world when you don't have an elytra.
Or an ender chest.
And you need to travel back and forth. But after that, no. How often do you really use a boat?
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking, usually you put stuff in your shulker boxes. You take them with you, but if you don't have a shulker box, you can still take a chest and travel with it.
Yeah.
With the boat.
I would like to be able to see, like, if I ride my boat over a hopper, I would like it to be able to suck items out of the boat chest.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That is one thought. That could be cool.
drop off.
Right. Whether or not that's useful or not, I have no clue. But
that's true.
All right, but I do think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Again, I feel like we're missing something, but
Discord will let us know if we missed anything.
Yeah.
Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, FragileRock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, and viperoustuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect. I stumbled over all of that.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah. If you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us, or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.